Hey there, it's Katie Jarvis with Managing the Mess. If we haven't met before, I'm a K-6 elementary art teacher, and I teach here at a Title I school just outside of Washington, D.C. This is my 22nd year teaching art and my 5th elementary school, which means I've been new 5 times. In this video, I'm going to share with you my top 10 tips for being new, whether you're a brand new art teacher starting out or you're just in a new position. The first thing I recommend is gathering together all of your questions, either in a notebook or in your notes app, because as time goes on, you're going to be able to add to this. Initially, I know as soon as I got hired, I thought of about 1 million questions. Can I get a yearbook so I can learn the students' names? What are the school colors? When can I place my orders? When can I get into my room? Just all of the things I started wondering. So have a spot to record this, and you might want to pick, after you give it some time, your top 3 questions, and then message that to the administration so that you get an answer about that sooner than later, about those top things that you just really are dying to know. The other items on that list, you're going to want to set aside, and when you're given a mentor or someone from the school reaches out to you in email, you can start to ask some of those questions. And then just keep the question list. And then as you meet people, when you start to set up your room, you can ask questions here or there, and make sure within that first week back, setting up your classroom, you get all of those things answered. But you don't want to bombard everybody with all of your questions all at once. Another thing I would do is see if you can visit your art making space. If you have an art room or there's a storage closet that you'll be based in, you want to make sure, if you could visit that space. If you do get a chance to visit, make sure you take some video and you take pictures. I know for me, I even thought to take measurements when I moved into this art room, so I knew how wide the cabinets were, so I could plan and pick if I wanted to purchase bins or other containers that they would fit into my art room, that I wasn't wasting my money or my time having to go back and forth to return things. Another really big thing is, if you have a chance to get into your art space before the position begins, is I would take inventory. And I can help you out with this, because over on my Teachers Pay Teachers, I have a full list of everything that I order. And it has both an inventory column and then how many I need to order column. So that's a great resource to get you started. But I would inventory what is already currently there first, and then find out what your budget's going to be and when they would like you to place an order. But that's a really big deal, because you can't make something out of nothing. It's not fun to be waiting for supplies your first few weeks. So if you can do that ahead of time, or they can even get the order from you early, but then they place it maybe a week or 2 before school starts, that would be really helpful. And just one less thing that needs to be on your mind and off of your plate. If you know what supplies you're getting, also really helps you to plan your lessons. Make sure also that you're budgeting your own money. It might be really fun to go out and buy all the decorations if you're getting a new space or you're a brand new art teacher for the first time, but you're not going to be able to buy all of the things at once. So you really need to, if you can, like I said, get an idea of what the space currently looks like and what is already there, and then pick and choose. I would definitely set a budget for yourself. You don't have to have everything shiny and new that first year. Many teachers that are retiring get rid of things. There's all sorts of things on Facebook, like free cycling groups, that I've got many things for from my art room, from teachers that were retiring. So definitely look around a little bit before you make any big purchases. A big thing on your list when you are new is you got to find your people and be friendly and be open and share things about you and ask other people questions, because you don't know who this tribe of yours is going to be. It might be the other specialist. It might be other people that are new. I know that's been the case for me. We had a bond because we were both new at the same time. It might be a mentor that you're working really closely with. For me, when I started at this school, I was really nervous. I was really excited. The very first day of meeting the staff, there was a staff meeting, and beforehand, there was a very informal breakfast. I was sitting with another teacher, the PE teacher, and I made a slightly inappropriate joke about balls just to make her laugh. And she totally was roaring. And it was great. And then other people started to join us, and she said, oh, this is the new art teacher. I love her already. She's already making jokes about balls. And then I started to talk to someone else that was sitting next to me, and I heard her lean over and say, we should invite her to lunch. And my stressed shoulders just dropped, because I thought, they're letting me in. They're giving me a chance. These might be my people. And happy ending, turns out they were my people. Who would have known? I went through distance learning and COVID and all the things with my specials team, but I'm very thankful to have them. Having them is a place that I can laugh and cry. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, we're a dysfunctional family. It's drama and chaos, but I really wouldn't have it any other way. I hope for you, you can quickly find your people, because it just makes you feel a little bit more at home at your school. And it's really going to be how you survive and get through this school year. Because the kids are crazy, and you definitely want to share some of those crazy stories with someone else that will appreciate them and laugh. Be friendly to everyone, but especially the office staff and the custodians. They run the school, okay? You'll quickly figure that out. So any opportunity you have, make sure you speak to them like they're humans. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them about things like their weekend and trips that they're taking and things like that. When I have the opportunity, like a little holiday or something, will make sure that I include them and give them a little special treat to show my appreciation. My custodians just go above and beyond. So I always give them a really nice holiday gift, and then also at the end of the year. In fact, I get comments on it on my YouTube videos about how clean my room is. I'm organized, but really, like, my deep, dark secret is my custodians are amazing. They will shine and clean all 4 of my sinks every single night. So they're really the best, and they make me look good. Make sure that you are not speaking poorly about the person that you replaced. I usually follow this rule, but I'm going to tell you a little story. I once got to replace someone, and I got to sit down and meet them and talk with them. As I was like moving my stuff into the art room, they were there. So we kind of had a little informal meeting, and I got to ask some questions and get to know them a little bit. And I realized that not only did they come to work every day in this art room, and I was going to have to be better than them for the kids to like me and impress them, but they also brought their dog to work every day. So I now had to be bigger and better than this cute little dog, because I wasn't going to be bringing my dog to school. That's just nuts. I don't even know how this was allowed. And I found out that they were a reenactor. I think they were something like the Queen of England. And they were planning on me doing an art show. And they would come back, and they would be the Queen of England. And we would do all this stuff together. And I just thought, oh my gosh, like, this is not at all what I want to do. I have my own vision and my own plan. I thought I was going to get to be the art teacher here and be in charge of everything. I definitely internally freaked out and panicked, but I never said anything mean or rude about it. Just kind of let it go. And guess what? They never came back to bother me. They never collaborated with me on anything. The whole thing just kind of, and they enjoyed their retirement. So don't freak out and worry about the person that you replaced. Don't speak negatively about them. It's okay to ask some polite questions, and other people, they can say whatever they want to say about that person that you're replacing, but make sure that you are always being positive. There are definitely, of course, people in the building that know them and are probably still friendly with them. So you really want to watch what you say. When you're new, you need to do a lot of listening and reflecting about what's going on in the school before you immediately jump in and start judging. The one most epically annoying thing that I will hear new people say is, well, at my old school. Okay, it's fine to say this like 1, 2, 3 times. If you become that person that is every other word, at my old school, people are going to very quickly just kind of tune you out. So just be aware that you need to be listening about what's already going on in the school, reflecting on how you want to do things. You don't need to constantly share your opinion and base it upon what you have already experienced. Just not a good way to connect with other people and make friends if you're doing it in a really super annoying way, which I think more than 3 times in any conversation with another person is way too much. Get involved in your new school. Pick what that's going to be, though, and set limits. Like, you can't be involved in everything. You can't be on the PTA and running the talent show and throwing an art show and doing all the things. In fact, if it's your first year, I would really limit it to just like one thing. And then when other people ask you, you're like, no, I can't do that because I'm doing Girls on the Run. That's going to be my thing this year. It's a good way to start. You can always add things, but it's really hard if you do everything and sign up for everything to say no to those the following school year. You're just going to feel a lot of guilt. So slowly add things, but do get involved into things, because that's going to be how you get to know other people on the staff and get to work with them in a different capacity. Make sure, especially if you've got time and some notice before the school year starts, plan your lessons. I know that sounds obvious, but it's so fun to like buy things and decorate your room and make posters and do things like that you almost forget that you're hired to teach art. Once you get to school, there's no time to think. Like the first week, and I have a whole week. I bet many people out there probably have like 2 days of like work days, and it's PDs when you come back. Other people are like running your time. You don't have that much time to set up your room. So you aren't going to have hardly any time to think or plan lessons when you get back to school. It's just rough. Even when the school year starts, I feel like that's the one thing that always like, oh, I'll just do it at home, because like you physically need to and want to do the things in your room. So if you can, ahead of time, select lessons, especially planning what you want to do that first week, will really, really help you. But if you can identify things you want to do with different grade levels and you've got those things organized, I think I'll be really happy that you did that, because it's something that's really time consuming, and there's just really not time for that in an art teacher's schedule. You're cleaning up messes, you're setting up materials, there's just a lot. So focus on those lessons if you've got some time before your position starts. Another thing I would focus on before the school year starts is thinking through what kind of procedures and routines that you would like, because that's going to be how you set up your room. I know in my room, I have numbered stickers where the students line up. So they have a line order, and it corresponds to my table numbers. So before the school year starts, I like to buy those little vinyl lineup numbers. I will link those down below. Trust me, you're going to want them. And where I get the little numbers that I use underneath my tables. I would want to purchase those before the school year started in a new school, so that I had those things and I was ready to go. Knowing how you're going to use the space will kind of dictate how you want to spend any of your own money, how you want to set things up in your room, and what you want to focus on in that short time you have to set up your classroom. If you're someone that's brand new or you're looking for some fresh new routines, I have a great video that I hope you'll watch next about routines that I teach those first few weeks of school.